The art of sticking a herbaceous border together really is about layers. Think of them as a series of contours. That's exactly how you use your plants. So you're looking for the big, robust, architectural, splendiferous plants. They're the ones that go at the back, the real kind of mainstay. And then everything else tumbles forwards and greets you as you walk through the garden. Well, they don't come much more grand than this. This, of course, is one of the cardoons. And the idea is that you really embrace the arching leaves and, of course, a wonderful stem that starts to emerge from the center of the crown, pushes up, on top of which thistle heads, the bumblebees just go crazy for them. And there's very little else in the garden that can create that real sense of opulence and texture, and also the glaucous colour of the foliage, which is perfect against the purple beech hedge in the garden at Chelsea. One of the great things about using herbaceous perennials is there are so many different shapes and forms, and occasionally a border, what you want are a series of firecrackers, those plants that just enliven with a real sense of upward motion the centre of the border. And this is one of the ones we're using this year. This is Digitalis Illumination. Now, it may not look much like your conventional foxglove, and there's a couple of things that are hugely varied. The lushness of the foliage, the colour of the bloom, although the shape of the flower is quite familiar, but also the sense that this is a plant which is multi-stemming. Just look at the way it produces this mass of almost shrub-like branches coming out from really quite low down, and that ensures you get a very long flowering season. We've got them caned here just to protect them and keep the stems straight in the nursery, but in the middle of a border, jostling with other plants, really erupting through, this is a very resilient specimen. And what a wonderful burned umber colour too. As far as the front of border is concerned, you're typically looking for something that grows up to about 60 to 70 centimetres high and is quite rounded, but you want it to be nice and solid. Aesthetically, it stops the border just drifting off towards the path or the lawn. That's a full stop, if you like. And this is a wonderful specimen. It's the sort of thing that you used to find in Granny's garden. It's Centuria montana, as the name suggests. Its home is actually North America. These thistle-like blooms are wonderful for particularly bumblebees and also butterflies, the odd one just fluttering around. Very long flowering period. Doesn't mind a little bit of shade, but equally happy sitting out in the sunshine as long as there's plenty of moisture at the root. And you're rewarded with a wonderful iridescent cloud that drifts right on the edge of the border. As far as the ground cover layer is concerned, well, those plants, the requirements on them is that they ebb and flow. They're mercurial, they move around other plants, just seeking out that little bit of light. It's a very special characteristic to have, but it's invaluable in the garden. Knitting areas together, creating a sense of harmony across the borders. And there are some plants that are rarely used but are fabulously hardworking. This is one of them. It's Erodium Manascanii. Now, you can instantly tell from the way that the flowers are presented on these rather upright but multifloriferous heads. This is a member of the cranesbill family, a geranium relative, if you like. But the wonderful thing about something like an Erodium is that not only is it unusual to find in a garden, it is incredibly hard-working, just about as tough as they come. Any soil will do, a little bit of sunshine, and what you get is a rosette of very fern-like foliage, which actually typically stays really quite low to the ground, so that's what's making it great at the front of the border. And then these heads of flowers just pop up. Not hugely floriferous, but what it does is deliver a nice even ray of very cerise pink blooms right the way through the summer months.